Taking any sort of time for yourself when you're a caregiver is a very difficult task. Taking a vacation can seem absolutely impossible, but there are ways to do it. Earlier today, I spoke with Amy Coupal, the CEO of the Ontario Caregiver Association, to chat about this topic. But first, I asked Amy to give me a little information on what the organization itself does.
We support Ontario's 4 million caregivers. These are family members, friends, and neighbors supporting someone perhaps physically or emotionally around their caregiving needs. And so we have lots of free caregiver programs and services that you can learn about on our website at ontariocaregiver.ca. And we also work to help generate solutions to solve the problems that caregivers face as they're navigating their journey.
Now, you are someone who has personal experience with this. You had a brother with cerebral palsy. You were taking care of your mom and her journey. Now you're elderly father. So you know firsthand how hard it is to get away and take a break for a caregiver. Where does the process even begin?
It can be really tough for caregivers to take a break, and I think it's an important thing to acknowledge that and also to recognize that a break can look different for different people. I know a caregiver whose break is going to the Tim Hortons drive-through because that's what's feasible for her in her life. So whether it's minutes, hours, days, or weeks, it's good to start thinking about what would a break look like for me in terms of what's manageable and feasible. Then I think it's really helpful to talk with the person or people that you care for to let them know what your plans are and to engage them as is feasible so that they can be involved and then start to work through the process of what would this break look like. Obviously, it might be different if it is something like, a short hour break versus days or weeks. But at the end of the day, it's all of those practical considerations that are going to enable you to take the break.
So when we're speaking about something that is a little bit more long term, like let's say you're going away for a week, you just want to get out in the sun, tropical vacation, or whatever a person likes to do. A lot of caregiving can be, it's about routines. There's pills, there's certain things that need to be done at certain times. How do you prevent those from going haywire in your absence? What steps can be taken?
First and foremost is to have a plan and for that plan to be well documented. So you brought up medications, daily routines, make sure medical history or other information that someone else might need in your absence is available, care providers and making sure that any contact information for them, as well as things like medical insurance or emergency contacts, for that to all be documented for whoever might be stepping in while you're away. And that's usually a big consideration is who's going to do this? Are there other family members, friends, neighbors who can shore up what I do while I'm away and for there to be a plan and a backup plan for that?
And I would also consider that, the person that you are giving the care to, the new people coming in, there has to be some sort of trust here. How do you do an introduction? Because you just don't want random strangers coming in and say, hey, you're going to do this. So how have you dealt with that in the past?
I think it is important to make sure that the person or people who will step in while you're away are ready, willing, and able. And there may be different people who can do different things. If there's paid care providers, to be sure that they're clear about what they're accountable for is really important. If it is other folks within family, friends, neighbors, to make sure that they can do the things that they're being asked to do and that they understand very clearly what's required. So there may be communication considerations, documentation considerations to make sure, for example, that medication is taken properly, and to go over all of that in advance, because that will also be something that will give the caregiver who is taking a break that peace of mind to know that everything is set up properly.
Well, I want to talk about that peace of mind because it's very hard to get to peace of mind when you are a caregiver because you're always worried about the person you're giving the care to. I mean, look, we've spent this whole interview talking about setting up that care for that person, but I want to kind of flip the script here and ask you about how can a caregiver clear their mindset to actually be away and not just spend their whole time worrying about what's happening at home?
I think the plan can really help with clearing a caregiver's mind. It's also really important to acknowledge that there might be emotions. I can say this for myself when I've made plans to be away. guilt can come up, worry can come up, and to allow yourself to feel some of those things, but also to make sure that there are ways that support you in navigating that. So, for example, when I've been away, I coordinate, okay, here's the times I would want you to reach out to me, and here's the times when I'm going to trust you to handle this and make a decision. That gives me peace of mind knowing that I have to allow other people to take care of what they're going to do, but they'll call me if they really need me, and we've agreed in advance what that is. And then I think it's important that what you are doing while you're taking a break is really going to fill your cup. So if you're doing something that matters to you as a caregiver, then that can be the distraction that you need. But to acknowledge that there probably is some letting go and some of those feelings that are a part of that process.